So in 2009, right, Wu-Tang Meets the Indie Culture Volume 2, Enter the Dubstep comes out. Now,
Yeah.
was dubstep really always the plan, or did somewhere along the line things change?
I had nothing to do with that. That's excuse me, that's all Babygrande. Didn't know nothing about it. Saw it came out one day.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I know I've seen old interviews where you're talking about, yeah, we working on number 2, you know, it's gonna happen or something like that. And then next thing you know, like,
Yeah.
it's such a deviation from what people were expecting. They were like, I guess maybe some of the more non-traditional hip hop fans were like, "Oh, I like dubstep, so yeah, you know, this is good." You know,
Yeah, I think that's just I think dubstep, they thought it was gonna be a wave there for a minute. And I think that's just a stupid Babygrande move, man. Not that the album's dumb or nothing, and I ain't shitting on the artists. They did their thing, but I think they was just trying to jump in the pool real quick, that when the pool was warm, and get something out there. So yeah, I don't know. It was a very strange product to me. You know what I mean?
but you appeared on 4 songs on the album.
Yeah, they was all remixes though. They took
Oh,
songs. See, what they did was they took songs from I think Wisemen Approaching and maybe Thoughtful Food, and they just took the acapellas and put them on those beats. So yeah, those are like Wiseman and Bronze solo songs that they just transferred in dubstep, which is why I wasn't a big fan of that shit.
were you pissed when you heard it?
Yeah, man, I was like, dog, like who the fuck told y'all could do this shit, man? But yeah, that's the type of games that go on. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy, man. Especially because the
Yeah.
first one was so revered and like people loved it so much, right? Why
Right.
would you take this like 180, you know, and go in an opposite direction like that instead of like making it bigger from the first one?
Some real clown shit, man. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel, man. It was some clown bullshit, man.
How did the
If
other people involved feel?
everybody was mad because I believe what they just took a bank of records they already had out, took the vocals, this, that, another, this person, that person, this group, and had them remix on the dubstep. So I'm sure they probably didn't tell nobody. They probably
Wow,
just
so
put the
nobody
only
rapped
people.
over the dubstep naturally. It was just a
No,
complete remix.
no, it's all remixed and regurgitated material, man.
That's
Yeah,
terrible, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
trash.
and it's such a letdown for fans because I know so many fans were really waiting for that follow up to that.
Right. Thinking they was gonna get a part 2, some more of the same from part 1, but yeah, no. Nope.
So do
No,
you end up
sir.
getting paid from that?
Yeah, I get my royalties and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
But this is probably going to be like, this probably was like more like successful in like Europe and shit, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You know.
Damn, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy, right?
In 2010, like you were talking about, the Wisemen released Children of a Lesser God, right?
Yeah.
Now, this, you were saying that they didn't promote it well at all, the album.
No. They really flubbed it. Excuse me. I didn't see any promotion. And what also happened was when we turned the album in, somehow it had got released on, I believe it was Amazon. It got released on Amazon like 4 weeks early. It wasn't supposed to be out, but it was live on the fucking website. Yeah, so I don't know how they fucked that shit up, but after it went live on the website, you know, we noticed it. We said, "Oh, bro, what the fuck? What is y'all doing?" And they took it down. But at that point, somebody already ripped it, and that shit was all over the internet. So it was like, when the shit officially came out, it was just like the deflated balloon. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like almost like it was done in spite of like they were upset with your guys' relationship already or what had happened prior business wise?
I think it's possible. I think more so it was probably more so just some bumbling idiot mistake shit.
Oh,
because
okay.
that happened a lot as well. So there was a lot of that shit going on. So I think that could have probably been part of it as well. So, but who knows, man?
So
Crazy.
for this album, you guys got Raekwon and Planet Asia on it, right? How did you guys try
Yeah,
to approach this album differently from the first? You had less features, right?
yeah. We had a little less features, bigger features, but a little less.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that this album was a little different for me as well because for Wiseman approaching, I handpicked all the beats. I arranged everything. I put it all together. And then for, I think, Children of a Lesser God, we had got this big studio building on Grand River in Detroit. And I came at Children of a Lesser more like, let the fellas have more input. Um, which, no disrespect to them, but I think I should have made more executive decisions with some of the beats on there. Still a banger, but um, I think I think I approach it differently that way, and then letting everybody else have a say. And you pick the beat this time, and you do this interlude, Kev. You know what I mean? Instead of kind of just taking the reins and going with my ear. But yeah, I think that's kind of the approach I took with it, and they was happy to do it.
Do you feel that the album was less cohesive as a result because you weren't the one with like the vision board, like directing it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I just have like, I don't know, I just have this certain ear in a certain way that I don't know, inside I know how it should be. Like I know how this should be here. And I think I conceded a lot of that on this on the second album. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like because you're like a real producer too, like like the pieces of the puzzle have to fit in a certain way and everything like that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I'm a stickler with that shit. Yeah. It gotta fit, it gotta connect, you know what I mean? Or
So what is the relationship like between you and Babygrande at that point when they're not doing the promotion and stuff? Like, are you guys like yelling at them, asking them like what the fuck is going on? Like,
yep. Yelling, cussing, not talking, not answering emails, demanding my statements, not getting statements. Yeah, real contentious, man. Yeah.
damn, so
Yep.
it's a real
It's like
bad
fuck
time.
you and fuck you too. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Yeah.
So does that get smooth over during the course of that album at all, or no? Like it bleeds over into School for the Blind Man, basically.
Nah, bleeds over. No,
Damn.
yeah, bleeds over. Yeah. Bleeds over. Yeah. Wasn't happy, but I had the upper hand though with that shit because that's when I had the crazy features on that shit. Um, and so they wanted that shit bad, so they kind of was doing what I needed, but I seen how they played the Wiseman, so that was it for me. I had 2 album deal for that shit, and that was it.